What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing good, doing the best they can. God bless. In this video, now I heard about this. I don't know the full details, but Trump supporter writes racist message to waiter on receipt, regrets it instantly. She's some stupid blonde real estate agent. I think it was Century 21. Just stupid. I mean, just some blonde bimbo. She looks attractive, but that's like the majority. That's like 80% of the women who are like attractive. They're just dumb bimbos. All looks. Well, not all looks. They got half a brain. Like a pea brain. Let's get to the story.
At Casuela's Mexican Cantina on East Broad Street tell me they love their job and they love serving people. They say Sunday afternoon they were doing just that.
Apparently this lady came in and Ricardo, who is a great person, was taking care of her. He said he only works here one day a week, which is Sunday. He has 2 jobs.
After the woman and her family left, they found this on the table, a receipt, but instead of the tip, the woman wrote this hateful message.
Tip 0, you suck. Total $87.84. And where the X is. I've never had a credit card. I guess that's where you sign or where it says, I hope Trump deports you. 3 punctuation marks. Do you know how many, and this happened not that long ago, this happened like less than a week ago. Do you know how many illegal immigrants left their jobs? Like, especially farms. They're like in Nebraska. Be careful what you vote for. Oh my gosh. 68% of farmers are using illegal immigrants. And the state voted for Trump. Farmers are known to vote Republican. The last time they voted for a Democrat was Lyndon B. Johnson back in the 60s. If you have 68%, just let's say it's 48% of your workers on your farm illegal immigrants, don't vote for the guy who wants to deport all these illegal immigrants. Nebraska's complaining, saying we're gonna go bankrupt in like 6 months. Farmers are gonna lose their farms that they've had in the family for generations. Nebraska's known for 2 things: football and farming. Anyways, this is just tip 0. You suck. At the X. I hope Trump deports you.
A receipt, but instead of the tip, the woman wrote this hateful message.
It's just not right.
So that happened on March 2nd, and as you can see here, the woman tipped $0 on an $88 bill and wrote, "You suck, I hope Trump deports you" at the bottom of the receipt to a server who works multiple jobs. Now, aside from the obvious racism here, I also want to take the time to point out this Karen's entitlement, because in the state of Ohio, servers make a sub-minimum wage, meaning that they mostly subsist off tips. So she not only wished for his life to be destroyed by our fascist president, but she also took food off of the table for his family. Just despicable human being. Now, what's especially gross is how these white trash racists think that they have power over minority communities, the way that they wield ICE or police against them like fucking swords, as if black and brown people should bow down to them and kiss their asses, because if you inconvenience them in the slightest, then they have the power to destroy your life or even get you killed with a quick phone call. I mean, let's recall what Central Park Karen said in that viral video.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Meaning, your life is in my hands, and I know which words to say to get them to gun you down for me. And these same types of people are now using ICE in a similar manner. You cannot hate these people enough. They are despicable, morally reprehensible cretins. But none of this is surprising, because this is the cultural effect that Donald Trump has on the country. Racists feel emboldened because of him. And since he's able to get away with saying racist things, they think that they can too. But guess what? It doesn't work that way. In fact, the lady who left that message to the server learned this the hard way, because one of Ricardo's co-workers posted a picture of that receipt online, and it blew up almost immediately. And it didn't take very long for internet sleuths to find her Facebook and start tagging her in the image. And here's what happened next. Newsweek reports Stephanie Lovins, the lady who left that message on the receipt, initially denied any involvement, claiming on social media that her credit card had been lost or stolen and that someone else had used it. "My credit card was lost and stolen, and someone attempted to use it. Thanks for the notification. She's so fucking full of shit. This has been reported through my bank," she wrote on Facebook. "Thank you for all the recent notifications of scammers and profile hackers. Oh, I was hacked. We've never heard that before. I recently discovered a lost missing credit card and an attempted use/purchase. I appreciate your patience while I manage the situation," she wrote on a post on LinkedIn. This woman's social media account has since been deleted. Oh, I wonder why. However, this was discovered to be a false statement after the restaurant reviewed CCTV footage and confirmed that she was inside the restaurant, leading to her termination at the real estate company that she worked for.
Her evil twin.
For Century 21, her employer addressed the incident, stating that hate has no place within the brand and that the situation is being taken seriously. In other words, she fucked around and she found out real quick. Turns out that you can't be openly racist towards people without consequence. Just because Trump is able to get away with it doesn't mean that you can too. And listen, if it wasn't already obvious, I have no sympathy for this Karen.
No. And she's a blonde, but she's not as attractive as I thought. She's a little chubbier than I thought. She was skinnier, but when you do something like that, expect it to be posted on social media. It's just a warning to anyone. It could be to a black person. You know, I hate you, the N-word, whatever. It's going to be posted on social media. She got all the thousands and thousands of hate messages, and she was probably like, "Oh my God, how do they get that? What do I do?" She probably asked her friends and family, "What do I do? Say your credit card was stolen." I'm sure they don't have cameras or, you know, people there can't identify you. Or she was fired, by the way.
Because she wished for this server's life to be destroyed. That's what would happen if he were undocumented
Jobless
and deported.
Join everyone else. She might as well have
Crime
been
is
a
down.
federal
Jobs
worker.
are up. Our economy is strong. America, we are on our way.
We wish. She's
But guess what? She ended up destroying her own life instead. That, my friends, is what I'd like to call poetic justice. Now, in the off chance someone
Karma.
stumbles across this video and thinks that I'm being too harsh, I can assure you that, one, I'm not being harsh enough, and two, she's probably the type of person who would never extend that same sympathy to the people that she doesn't like. And to show you what I mean, I want to play for you a video of a TikToker crying after his mom was deported. Now, this video went viral, so we're going to watch it, and then I want to show you the comments that this individual received.
My mom just got deported. My mom just got deported.
Now I've seen this video. He did a GoFundMe and it raised like $12,000. I still don't know if this is real. He posted another video later on thanking people, and I'm sorry, this just looks, it looks like he's acting. It's like someone acting in a high school play. I don't know. I'm still skeptical about it.
It's so not fair. It's so not fair. She's literally not a criminal. Like, she's literally just paid her taxes.
If this is real, then I feel horrible. It's just like, it just feels like when he pushed play, you could tell he pushed play. It's like that's when like he really started crying, you know?
She's literally just, we're not saved. No one's saved. Please.
He's got blonde hair.
Hug your loved ones, please.
Now, when normal people see this kind of pain and suffering, they feel empathy. They feel sad. Because this is unnecessary suffering. It doesn't have to be this way. His mom does not deserve to be deported. He doesn't deserve to lose his mother. This feeling that we feel when we see that, it's called being a human. However, when conservatives see this kind of thing, when they see the effect that the policies they support have on their victims, they don't feel a shred of sympathy. Instead, they do a victory lap. Here's some of the comments to that video. A Guatemalan influencer breaks down in tears after his mother was deported by Tom Homan. So good. Those tears have absolutely zero emotional impact on me. In fact, my eyes rolled so hard, I'm surprised they didn't get stuck that way. I voted for this. Why didn't he go with her? What a douche. He should be deported himself, just for being so whiny and pathetic. Send the anchor baby back also. Damn, this crying man has convinced me we need to do away with borders, laws, and rules. They need to go back and get him. Deport him too for being a f***. These are the kind of people that we're talking about here. Sick, sadistic fucks who relish in the pain and suffering of others. They get off on it. It fuels them. So if one of these kinds of people...
I said a long time ago, back in like 2016 when Trump was elected president, and there was like, you know, the slogan, "Make America Great Again." The majority of the people were like talking about, get rid of these, you know, illegal immigrants. Do something about black people and their crimes and their drugs. And the majority of these Trump supporters, MAGA, a lot of them are no longer supporters. Trump's presidential, I seen this like a week, like 10 days ago, something like that. That Trump's approval rating is the lowest of any president in 70 years. Not very shocking, everything he's done, him and President Musk. But, Trump, Vice President Trump, doesn't shock me that his approval rating is... I'm surprised it's not longer. Just 70 years, everything is bad. People are losing their jobs, their health care, their food stamps, their farms. They did it to themselves, though, all over the country. It's not just Nebraska. There's farmers complaining all over the country. We didn't expect this. We didn't expect to lose our farms. We thought Trump was on our side. We wanted to get rid of those brown Mexicans, illegal immigrants. We thought it was going to be like white privilege, like white power again, Idiots.
People like this lady are stupid enough to say something like this without the anonymity afforded to them by the internet and catches up with them. Spare them your fucking sympathy. Save your sympathy for their victims. So, needless to say,
I have no
as you can tell,
sympathy.
I don't feel bad for this racist Karen. In fact, I hope that she stubs her toe too. But I will say that what does give me a little bit of hope
Her face.
is the overwhelming response from the community
All over
to this Karen's racism.
Social media.
I think it's despicable. That's not who America is. We're all immigrants.
Ron Sitters from Granville has never been to the cantina, but came to show support.
The food was wonderful. Everything was, the people were courteous. Everything was wonderful. So I was in shock when I saw that story because I literally had just come back from Mexico the day before, and kind of broke my heart.
We never expected that to go that viral or having that reactions. Thankfully, all the community has been really supportive.
The employees say people are already planning to come in next Sunday when Ricardo works and make the day special for him.
This is a space for being inclusive, and there's no space for hate inside Casualas.
The employees say they hope some good will come out of sharing this story.
And that right there makes me think maybe not all hope is lost. To see communities come together and stand up for each other makes me feel like maybe we might still be able to salvage this country one day. Probably not, but maybe there's a small chance. But one of the reasons why things feel so bleak right now is because it's not just the evil fascistic policies that are so bad. It's the culture that's being fostered by Donald Trump and the Republican Party too. That also has a profound impact.
No, these people were racist and taught their kids racism before Trump. Even like 2014, 2013, they were racist before Trump. They hated Mexicans and black people. It's all about white power. The reason they loved Trump so much is because he was like the first president to be on their side. I wanted to get rid of all these Mexicans. I wanted to deport all these illegal Mexicans. And he was a racist. Trump's been a racist. He's been a fan of Hitler since at least the 80s. In an interview, with Barbara Walters in the late 80s, she asked him about the Adolf Hitler book that he read. And Adolf Hitler. So, it's just like the first time a president. It's basically like, yep, another president to vote for. Wait, Donald Trump hates Mexicans like I do? He hates black people? He's racist like I am? He's friends with A white supremacist? Are you serious? Oh my gosh, this is like Christmas. Oh, I'm voting for him. What's it? Oh, Donald Trump. Oh my goodness. What's the slogan? Make America Great Again? Oh my gosh, I got a text on my, oh geez. Yeah, Billy Bob, did you hear about Donald Trump? Yeah, he's like us. White power. I don't know. I got a flip phone. People with iPhones who are rich. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have had zero income since 2008. I'm poor. Haven't had any new clothes in like 5 years. No furniture. Anyways, they were racist before Trump. He just happened to be the first president to openly come out, campaign, saying all these things. And it's like if a president ran saying that he's a big, like, superhero type human being. He loves Marvel movies, he loves Star Trek, Star Wars. All the people who love Star Trek, Star Wars, Superman, Batman, whatever, Iron Man, they would all vote for him or her. Pathetic.
On so many people, socially, psychologically. But fortunately, we're not the only ones paying a price for Donald Trump's ascendance, because the people who voted for him also, who thought that their privilege would protect them, are also getting fucked over by this administration. And truly, no one is spared, and they're learning that the hard way right now. And I'm sad to admit, seeing them get fucked over by the person who they voted for gives me a little bit of schadenfreude. Case in point, I want to hear from a 3-time Trump voter who also is a federal employee that worked for the IRS, who was just terminated by Doge. Here's what he has to say about voting for somebody that ended his job.
Did you anticipate that this might happen, or regret your vote at all?
It's different.
No, I don't necessarily regret my vote. I think the options that we had on both sides were. I think we could have had better choices on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, with what's going on here, my performance reviews all meets or exceeds. My boss was very happy with me finding work to do, even if they didn't have something for me immediately. And with my particular job, between education, training, and compliance checks, we were able to recover far more revenue than the cost of keeping me employed.
So when you think about the premise of Doge and that it's trying to root out fraud and wasteful spending, do you think that this approach will get to that with your particular job or your agency?
Well, I think with all large agencies, there's going to be some people who underperform, and I believe there is some fraud, waste, and abuse. But I don't think that they're doing a very good job of finding out exactly what needs to be cut. I think they're just taking like a chainsaw to it instead of doing some critical thinking and doing some investigations to see exactly what is good and what is bad. Just letting it all go instead.
Will this impact how you vote in the midterms?
We'll have to see what's going on. Yeah, it's going to impact how I vote in the midterms, yes.
In what way?
Well, I'm going to see exactly who's going to try to help fight for the workers.
Democrats.
I want the best for this country, no matter who's in charge.
Hey, idiot, she is gently trying to get you to understand how you cut off your own nose to spite your own fucking face.
If Kamala Harris was president right now, the people who have their jobs would still have their jobs. We would still be helping Ukraine. We wouldn't have these terrorists with Canada and Mexico and China. We wouldn't be making enemies with our big brother upstairs in Canada, who we've been friends with for pretty much since the beginning. Anyone who thinks otherwise, you're brain dead. Just call yourself a blonde.
See, you voted for a party that's talked about abolishing the IRS for years now, but you probably thought that your job would be spared because you're not one of them DEI hires, right? But, I hate to break it to you, bud, but DEI includes you too. This man is a veteran, and as the Washington Post reports, Trump's executive orders on DEI may affect veterans as well, since the OPM didn't specify whether or not their preferred status has also been eliminated. Quote, none of these OPM memos explicitly exempts preference-hired veterans or military spouses when discussing DEI programs and protected characteristics. So presumably, all employees and officials of federal DEI offices, veterans and military spouses included, are prohibited under Trump's order from doing that
He's
work,
already
whether
got
they're placed on leave,
of
resigned, or
thousands
terminated.
and thousands
Oops.
of VA.
So, for those unaware, DEI programs are also put in place to help veterans and their spouses, since they too face barriers to employment and institutional bias. But you probably thought that DEI just applied to black and brown people, and you had to find out the hard way that you might actually be a DEI hire yourself. I mean, you can't make this shit up. It's like a fuck.
That guy's name was James Diaz.
Clarity. But it's also frustrating because we have to come to terms with the fact that there is a large portion of the American population who would happily vote against their own self-interest so long as marginalized people get fucked over more. And even though marginalized people will undoubtedly bear the brunt of the pain and suffering, I don't want to hear from people like this. I don't want to hear you complain about how you were fucked over too if this is what the fuck you voted for. I didn't agree to this. You did, so shut the fuck up and stop crying, pussy. I mean, this man is twice my age, and he's too stupid to understand that actions have consequences. It's probably too late to teach that to him, but I mean, it's a fucking miracle that he made it this far in life if you don't understand how voting for a party that has been wanting to abolish the IRS for decades might fuck you over. It's astonishing to me. But I mean, this guy is not the only Trump supporter that this happened to. On the Leopards Ate My Face subreddit, user Free Chicken Dinner shared a screenshot of a Trump voter finding out in real time that Trump's war on the administrative state affects him too. So on February 15th, he didn't believe that Trump and Musk couldn't figure out how to rehire nuclear officials who they accidentally fired. But the following week, he got a taste of what those nuclear officials were dealing with firsthand, writing in a post to Elon Musk on Twitter, I voted for Trump. I'm a government employee working 29 years for the DoD. The disrespect has come over the years from both sides. This time, it is out of control. We are political punching bags, and we are not the deep state. We have been wrongly treated like crap. Now, the next day, he responded to Donald Trump directly on Twitter, writing, I voted for you 3 times. Why are you allowing Elon Musk to abuse federal workers? Doge doesn't need to fire 200,000. They just need to fire 1. We are not the deep state. We protect this country with technology. If you continue down this path, this country will have no future. Amazing, isn't it? Now, fortunately for this person, it doesn't seem like they've lost their job yet, but they do still take issue with how all probationary workers are being let go without cause, and it feels like a 29-year civil servant such as themselves is owed much more respect than they're getting. But I mean, this is why people like myself tried to sound the alarm about Project 2025, because it clearly detailed the right's plan to dismantle the entire administrative state. So as a federal employee, I don't understand why you would vote for that agenda unless you're completely ignorant or you hope that you wouldn't be affected yourself. Also, side note, Project 2025 is already 38% complete, so it's on track to be fully implemented before their 180-day timeline. But, in conclusion, the lesson for today's video is that actions have consequences. If you vote for a racist or expose your racism to the rest of us, it very well may come back to bite you in the ass.
Exactly. FAFO. Trump supporters, people who voted for Trump, thought they wouldn't be affected. It would just be the people that they wanted to be affected. Mexicans. Going after black people more. Firing, the whole welfare and food stamps and Trump is now with the tariffs, Trump has paused the tariffs after just putting them in last week. He's paused them now because he's seeing what it's doing to America and what Canada has done. They're not selling any more of American products. Jack Daniels has come out and said, we're losing more because of Canada not selling our products more than any of the tariffs are doing to us. It's not the tariffs that are causing us to lose money, it's the fact that Canada isn't selling our product anymore. And guess, and by the way, Jack Daniels didn't even invent the whiskey. It was a former ex-slave who invented Jack Daniels whiskey, and some white man stole it. Jack Daniels, is it named after the person Jack Daniels? Was he? I'm just gonna say it was Jack Daniels. 150 some years ago, stole that from a black man. Anyways, no sympathy for all these Trump supporters. I've watched over 200 TikTok videos on YouTube of Trump supporters crying, saying, I lost my job, I can't afford food, I died out. Trump, this wasn't supposed to happen. FAFO. Like always and forever. Take care. Be safe. Peace. FAFO.